Hello everyone, we'd like you to meet the Kim family. The Kims just moved to Alberta a few weeks ago and are very excited to start their new lives. The Kims have 3 children in their family, so mom and dad need to know about the school system in Alberta. The Kims have a lot of questions, so let's get started.
Hello! Could you give us some information about schools in Alberta? I think the school system is different than back home.
You're right. To explain the school system in Alberta, let's start with the 3 W's: who, when, and where. Let's start with who goes to school. In Alberta, school is required for children from 6 to 16 years old. School starts at grade 1 and goes until grade 12. Depending how old your child is, they will go to a different type of school. The first is elementary school, which is from grades 1 to 6. Students are usually 6 to 12 years old. Next is junior high or middle school, which is from grades 7 to 9. Students here are usually from 12 to 15 years old. And last is high school. Most high schools go from grades 10 to 12. Most of the students are between 15 to 18 years old. How old are your children?
Eunji is 5 years old, Seunggi is almost 7 years old, and Jiyoung is 16 years old.
So, Eunji wouldn't have to go to school yet, but Seunggi would start elementary school. Jiyoung would be in high school. Don't worry. Most schools have specialists to support children with low-level English. So when do children go to school in Alberta? Most schools are open from September to June and closed in July and August for summer holidays. During the school year, there are many holidays, but the longest breaks are at Christmas and in spring. Christmas break is in December, and spring break is usually in March or April. And now, our last W is where do students go to school? This will depend on what school system your family chooses. Each school system is a different organization with its own rules and funding. There are 5 main school systems in Alberta. They are the public school system. Public schools are free for families because they are funded by the government. Then there is the separate school system. These are usually Catholic or Protestant education. They are also free. In most cases, children who attend must have a parent or guardian who is Catholic or Protestant. Third are private schools. This is a more expensive option as families have to pay a yearly fee for their child because these schools are only partially funded by the government. They may have smaller class sizes and more resources. Fourth are French schools. Families can choose a school that is completely in French, the second official language in Canada. And finally, there are charter schools. These are also free for families. They offer special programs for children. An example is a science-focused school.
Thank you. Now that we know the basics of schools in Alberta, how do we register our children in school?
Good question. It depends on what school system you choose, as well as what school board you're under. Usually, each community has its own schools. If you are a Canadian citizen, you may contact the school directly or register online. If you are a newcomer, you may have to register at a different location.
What documents do we need to register our children?
You will need to bring something that shows proof of your address, such as a driver's license or utility bill. Your child's birth certificate with your child's name, parents' names, birth date, and country of birth. Proof of your child's status in Canada, such as an immigration document or permanent residency card. A baptismal certificate if registering for a Catholic school. If available, your child's previous school report cards and or medical records.
Thank you so much. We will get those documents together right away. Does it matter what time of year we register our children?
It depends on the school board, but schools usually take in new students throughout the year. So try your best to register your child as soon as you can. Some schools do get full, so the earlier you apply, the better.
Got it. We will get started soon. But how will our children get to school?
Most schools have designated walk and bus zones. If you live in one of the bus zones, there will be a free to low-cost bus to take your child to school. It depends on your child's age and where they live. Some older students might have to take public transit, but schools usually offer discounted student bus passes. Each school system is different, so talk to your school directly to see what options they have. You can also visit the school's website for more information.
Thank you so much for your help. We can't wait to get started.